Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Get Corporate. Today we are going to be finalizing our discussions on sole proprietorship, but before then I want to say a very big thank you to all who have been with us from episode 1 up until now. And if this is your very first time joining us, a very big welcome to you, and I entreat you to watch the other episodes to be able to catch up on what we have done so far. And so back to the main business, finalizing everything on sole proprietorship. The first thing that I want to speak to is the rights that a person has, or the rights of a sole proprietor who registers a business name. When you register a business name, what does that guarantee you? What rights does that guarantee you? And what it does is it gives you exclusive rights of the business name that you have registered. So you are the only one who can use that business name. No one else can use that name but you. And so that is what it guarantees you. Be mindful that registering a business name does not give you the exclusive right to use that name in perpetuity. This means that annually you have to renew the business name, and so you can't just register the name and then leave it. Every year you have to complete a business name renewal form to be able to renew the name, and this is to allow you to continue to use the name. So even though you have exclusive rights of use of that name, it doesn't mean that once you register the name, that is it. You have to be renewing it annually. So that is what guarantees you the use of that name. So for as long as you continue renewing that business name, then it means you can use it because you have that exclusive right to it. But if you do not renew it, then that doesn't mean that you can continue to use it. So as much as possible, whenever you register a business name, please make sure that every year after you have registered the name, you renew the business name so that you can continue to use the name. I've realized that sometimes people would start running businesses and would not register the name of the business. They would just be operating under a business name because maybe it bears their surname or their full name or the initials. So they are not necessarily required to register those business names, and that's fine. But what registering the business name guarantees you is the exclusive rights of the use of the name, as I have already mentioned. And so if you are operating a business under a certain business name and you don't register it, it could happen that by the time you are ready to register, someone may have gone ahead to register that business name. And so that means you can't register the same name. Yes, the registrar will not do that. As we said earlier in the previous video, where the registrar finds that a name you want to use is misleading, they would not register it. Misleading in the sense that someone already has that name or a name which sounds like it. And so to avoid any confusion or any conflict, they would not register that name for you. And so whenever you start a business, it's important that you register that business name so that you can use that name. It's like official that you are using that business name. So you operate under a certain business name for about 6 years without registering, and by the time you are ready to register, you realize someone has been operating under that business name, which would mean that you have to change the business name, a name that your customers and clients may be familiar with, and then all of a sudden you have to change it. I don't think that is very good for business. And so it's very important that once you have a business and you have a certain business name that you are operating under, you try as much as possible to register that business name so that you avoid that situation. So that's the first thing. I have also mentioned about the annual renewal, so that's the second. Then the third thing that I would also want to talk about is the fact that a sole proprietorship is for one person. A sole proprietorship is just for one person. It's not for two people. It doesn't matter if you are a couple, if you are siblings, it cannot be for two people. The law says that a sole proprietorship is owned, controlled, or managed by one person. And so that is what a sole proprietorship is. So I want to emphasize on the point that where a couple, a husband and a wife, decide to get into an enterprise and then they set it up as a sole proprietorship, that is not right. That is not right, because a sole proprietorship is just meant to be for one person. I know the Bible says the two shall be one, but in this case, you are not one. You are separate people, and so sole proprietorship is just for one person. I know here in our Ghanaian setting, people normally, maybe a husband and a wife would, combine forces and set up a business, a sole proprietorship. Let's say a man called Henry, a lady called Vic, come together and say Henvic Enterprise and operate it as a sole proprietorship, even though two people have come together to operate it. That is not how it's supposed to work. The fact that two people have come together to combine forces doesn't make it any less a sole proprietorship. It is still a sole proprietorship, no matter what you do. The law says a sole proprietorship is supposed to be owned, controlled, and managed by one person. And so that is what the law recognizes. So at the end of the day, the law would only recognize one person as the proprietor and not two people. Like we said, sole proprietorship, a sole proprietor. It can't be any more than one. So please take note of that. And where you want to combine forces with somebody, or you want to partner with somebody to get into any kind of business, there is partnership. You can incorporate a partnership. A sole proprietorship is not the right thing to do. You can incorporate a partnership. We'll be looking at partnerships going on or going forward. We'll be looking at partnerships. Maybe in the next episode, we'll look at partnerships. But I just wanted to set that foundation here, that where you want to partner with somebody, or you want to combine forces with somebody to get into a business, a sole proprietorship is not what you are supposed to do. You can either do a partnership or you can incorporate a company. So you can incorporate a partnership or you can incorporate a company. So that is all about it. It doesn't matter if you are siblings, if you are friends, if you are too familiar with the person is somebody you know. Once you are getting into a business with someone, please ensure that you have a partnership incorporated to avoid all those conflicts and all those things which come with it. I know normally when we don't have any formal arrangements when it comes to partnering with someone to get into a business, eventually some issues may arise, and trying to resolve those issues become difficult because there is no agreement or nothing to refer to resolve those disputes. And so it's important that whenever you are doing something with someone, it doesn't matter how informal it is, you want to combine forces with a friend to set up a shop, you want to combine forces with another friend, or you want to partner with a friend to start a farming business, whatever kind of business, whatever it is, once you are not doing alone, you are not doing it alone, and you are doing it with someone, it's important that you get into some kind of a formal arrangement, and this can be done in a partnership. And so, or if you do not want a partnership, you can also decide to incorporate a company, but a partnership is more appropriate. And so please keep this in mind as well. I know a lot of us normally like to take these things for granted. Oh, I know him, he's my husband, he's my friend. But when issues arise, you realize that they can become messy because there are no terms or no formal arrangements guiding how your partnership should be. And so please take notes that it is very important to incorporate a partnership whenever you are getting into anything with somebody else. So that would be all for today. We've wrapped up on sole proprietorship, and we have also entered a bit into partnership, which we would be going through next. That will be all for today. I hope this video was helpful. and I will see you in the next episode. It's bye for now.